The grey man does whatever a grey man can. Can he make a comic feed? Yes, he can. He just did. Watch now. A video from Grey Man. A video from Grey Man.
Grey Maniacs gather! It's time for another one of my little videos. Let me just top up the old tea in the old cup. I'll tell you what, tea tastes 58.9% better in these Grey Man cups. You really should buy yourself one. And yeah, a similar taste rise percentage is prevalent with coffee as well. That sentence made no sense. Oh, what a great, amazing cup of coffee. It was tea. Why did I say coffee for? Anyway, yeah, I need to work on my patter. Right, we're going through box E. It's gonna be a short video this time because yeah, a bit shorter. This was a really good little short story. Hard Time. This is the first. I think the first 4 come in a trade. So I picked up the first 4 in the trade. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, basically it's a kid goes into prison. He takes part in a massacre. I think he like backs out at the last minute. Like there's 6 issues in that first one. So this is number 7. Takes like a school shooting. I don't think he thought he was going to go ahead, but his friend does the school shooting. He stops him, but because he was part of the planning, he gets 50 years in prison. And while he's in there, he starts developing some superpowers. It's quite an interesting concept. And it was a pretty cool read as well. And it was the same guy, Steve Gerber, same guy who did Howard the Duck. Very unusual, very different kind of thing. But it was a really kind of cool story. Another one I wouldn't mind reading again at some point. I think there was like I think it was maybe 12. Yeah, I think it was 12, and I think they come back with a second series, but I never got a second series. But yeah, it was quite an interesting concept. I think he was able to have like out-of-body experience, this kind of thing. So he was able to leave prison even though he wasn't able to leave prison. Like his spirit did, kind of thing. But it was like very interesting stuff. Very cool. Right, the rest of the ones I'm going to show you today are all Judge Dredd related. DC had a hand at putting out Judge Dredd at one point. They had 2 titles running concurrently. They changed the story up a little bit. There was kind of like a retelling in a way, kind of going back into Dredd's history a bit. But they were still good in their own right. Wagner and Grant are involved, who are 2 Dredd writers, you know, of massive importance. They like back in the 2000 AD days, they were involved in that. Anderson and Palmiotti are the other ones. Maximum Justice. So one of the titles was Judge Dredd: Legends of the Law. Can't beat a bit of Judge Dredd. All singing, all dancing, all murdering. Oh man, this is another one. I think everything I pulled out of this box, I've said to myself, oh, I want to read that again. I should give these another read, actually. What's going on here? He's arresting a brain, the organ donors. This is a nice, interesting cover. The Fate of the Organ Donors. It's on cover art. It's called Dorman. Trial by Gunfire, right? New creative team: D.G. Chichester, A. Williams, and A. Lanning. The signature at the front might say Billings. I don't know though. It's a very awkward signature. You guys can see that. You can work out who that is. Messed up the bloody focus now by going too close to it. Trial by Gunfire Part 2. It's like a mute. He's got the drop on Dredd. Yeah, it didn't last very long. I don't think the sales were great. And I think IDW have got Dredd in America now. It's kind of weird that, like, I don't see why the 2000 ADs don't get sold out over there instead. But apparently they're not. Maybe they are as well, I don't know. Alright. Here's Legends of the Law, Trial by Gunfire, the conclusion, number 7. Looks like he's been shot in the back by a rogue judge. Is he shooting a judge in the head there? A fellow judge in the head? Fall from Grace, part 1 of 3. John Byrne, creative on this one. I'm guessing just the writing. Jay Mrawler. Maybe that was the guy who did the last one, but his signature is different than the last one. Jay Mueller. I'm not sure if that's the same art though. Lawgivers blazing. Fall from Grace conclusion. Jay Mueller again. Stu Chaffetz is the cover artist here. The last story in this Dread of Night, part 1 of 3. It's like vampires. Someone's about to get the bite on Dredd. If we ever do a vampire themed cover slingers, I must remember this comic, that comic. And in the number 13, the last one of the Legends of the Law series. They weren't bad. They weren't bad takes on Dredd. Not as good as the 2000 AD takes. They had some okay stories, but yeah, Dredd, man. You can't. It's hard to go wrong with Dredd, really. He is the law, after all. Right, and then running at the same time, we had just the Judge Dredd. He is the law. Yeah, we know that. Looks like he's dispensed some justice on that cover. Silicon Dreams. He just looks badass, Judge Dredd. Just standing there holding his gun, firing off a round, or riding on the back of his lawgiver. His lawmaster, sorry. The lawgiver is the gun, the lawmaster is the bike. His helmet, his eagle shoulder pad, his Dredd badge, just so iconic. And I think it was Carlos Esquerra who created the designs for Dredd, even though the first comics with Dredd weren't drawn by Esquerra. I think Esquerra had left for a while, but he'd created the style for him. And for me, Carlos Esquerra on Dredd, one of the best. Just love Carlos Esquerra's art. Dredd, and you guys might not be so familiar with Strontium Dog, Johnny Alpha. Check out Strontium Dog, Johnny Alpha if you get a chance. Great character. He's a mutant bounty hunter in space, basically, because the mutants were not respected. The mutants were harshly treated by everybody because they were mutants. So the only job they were allowed to do was hunt people, bounty hunt for people, and they'd hunt, in space. For criminals. Great series. Alright. I'm not sure how much of it's travelled over to America, but if you guys get a chance to pick up Strontium Dog, story or two, then by all means I recommend. One day I'm going to have to do a blinking cover slingers with Abe Lincoln. I've got so many covers with Abe Lincoln on the cover. like Abe Lincoln statue animated in Captain America. I've got Abe Lincoln in the future in The Flash. So many Abe Lincolns on covers. But if it ever did happen, I'd probably completely forget where they all were. Like, this is a nice plain cover, but it just tells you everything you need to know about Judge Dredd. And this is someone's recreated a Boland cover. Someone called it's signed as J3. So it's someone called JJJ maybe J3, and this is like taken from a Boland original because it says after Boland. I could have used this for a blinking cover slingers homage covers that we did recently, and just simply I am the law. Yeah, he is, he is the law. Oh, we got a Skulls cover slingers coming up soon. Must remember this comic when we do the Skulls cover slingers. Dredd dead. Judge Dredd dead. He's even dead in this one as well. What happened? How could he be dead? Dredd again. You have the right to remain silent. Is that a juggler? Is he like a juggling mime? And Dredd's just arrested him and all the balls are falling out of the sky. I'm guessing that's what's happened there from that picture. Some kind of weird mime holding up a little white flag. Is it going to be a take on the Joker or something? Well, this one actually ran a little bit longer than the last one. The Book of Dredd, or what it was, the Law of Dredd. Legends of the Law was it? I can't remember the name of that. I looked at it about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, this one runs a bit longer because we've got number 13, which is what the other series stopped on. Moving Violation. Face Off. Dredd versus a Dredd robot. Up against the wall. He's surrounded by an interesting group of villains. You got an Elvis, you got a nun with a knife, you got a freaking is that a Dick Tracy there, and Popeye, and some kind of chef, and a guy who looks like a superhero as well. Hey, look, he's a little superhero kind of guy in the corner there, all facing off against Dredd. They've got no chance. Right, number 17, taking down some big guy. His uniform's seen better days in this one. I don't know what happened to his uniform there. Alright, and the last issue, Art Attack. Kind of missed a trick by not getting a scarer to do any of these comics, to be honest. One of the best artists on Ron Smith, another great artist. Mike McMahon. Right, and the last one I've got in this is Lobo, Judge Dredd. Psycho Bikers versus the Mutants from Hell. Story by Alan Grant. So, a guarantee of a good Dredd story if Alan Grant's doing it. Right, it's a wraparound. Well, it's not a wraparound, it's got a back cover, is what I should say. It's got Lobo and Dredd facing off, and in the back you got Mean Machine Angel. They're saying, Bastich, creep, partners. Mean Machine Angel. He's an interesting character. Like what it was. If you're not aware of the comics, there's an evil mutant gang called the Angel Gang, and Mean Machine. He was the apple had fallen far from the tree, and he was like looking at flowers, and like, you know, he wasn't a downright ornery, nasty like piece of work like the rest of his family were. He was like an innocent little boy, and they ended up getting some robotics expert to like turn him into half a robot. They put a dial on his head for like anger settings kind of thing. If he goes all the way up to 4, that's when he's like and he's really kind of mean. So like they were such evil bastards. They did robotic surgery on their brother, their son, just so he would be as evil as the rest of them. Anyway, cheers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look into comic book box. I'll say it right in a minute. Comic box E from my collection. I will be back later in the week. Till that time, have a great, amazing day, and may all your news be good news. Have a great amazing day. I'll have a great amazing day. Have a great amazing day. I hope you have a great amazing day.